So this is Tony from Tony Takes on Tech, and we'll be going over all the announcements made over Google I/O, at least the interesting ones. So let's go. So first on the list is Android O. Android Oreo, Android 8.0, we have no idea. They didn't mention anything about that, but they announced that it's out of the developer preview and now it's in beta. You're able to install it on your Nexus device or your Pixel, and you'll be able to use it as your daily driver. It's probably not as stable as it sounds, but you can still use it. A couple of new features were announced along with it. Notification dots, for example, which kind of provides 3D touch functionality on apps. Alongside showing more important information, also shows you the number of notifications that you have on your app. Instagram was shown how it works, which is pretty cool. The notification sheet has seen a revamp. It's now kind of great. Looks kind of like the Samsung notification sheet now. Looks really good. They shifted the settings icon on the notification sheet to the bottom, just below the quick toggle icons, which is pretty cool. Just slight cosmetic changes made to the notification bar. Then the settings panel looks kind of like a Windows Phone settings panel, which is interesting and good. It's much more cleaner, much more information can be shown and displayed on the specific icons, which is really impressive. There's also a lot more improvements in terms of battery life and performance, which will generally allow your phone to perform better and be a better device in general. So if you have an Android 7 device right now, or something running Android 7, Android 7.1.1, you'll probably be able to upgrade to Android 0 at the end of the year, which is pretty impressive depending on your carrier and your manufacturer. Another cool feature that was announced, or rather product, is Android Go, which is basically a skinned down version of Android that you'll be able to run on like lower end spec devices. It kind of resembles what they tried to do with KitKat, where the OS could run on devices with RAM as low as 512 MB. So the same thing applies with Android Go. The Go moniker is kind of similar to what they did with YouTube Go, which is released in India and hopefully gets to Kenya, since the data speeds and data is still expensive. Data speeds are slow and data is still expensive. YouTube Go would be really impressive in Kenya. Android Go will also pretty much be something big in Africa and developing countries, because people can't afford like the high-end devices but can afford like basic devices, and so long as they can access like basic Android functionality, that would be pretty good. So the second thing is Google Assistant. Google Assistant has seen an overhaul, not really a major overhaul. It's kind of like version 1.5 of Google Assistant. A couple of new features have been added onto it. One of them being Google Lens, meaning you'll be able to point your camera while you're in Assistant. You're able to point your camera at something and it's able to recognize whatever it is and give you suggestions based on what it's seen. If it's a flower, it's able to tell you what kind of flower it is. Would you like to buy it? Would you, all those kind of cool things. So it's kind of like Samsung's Bixby, which was announced with the Galaxy S8, but much better. Google services are crazy. Also going along the theme of artificial intelligence, I'll link down a blog post I did on artificial intelligence. They are really improving how Google Assistant is working. You don't need to install an app, for example Uber. You can just call an Uber from Google Assistant and it will order everything, since it knows all your details, your name, your address and where you are, your location, everything. It will just be able to do it. They showed it using a place for food called Panera, and they're able to make an order without having the Panera app installed on the phone, which is really impressive. The third thing that I think is the most important thing, then that is one of the most important things they announced during I/O, was Google Lens. Google Lens will basically be that Bixby feature where you're able to see through the camera. That's really impressive. It also works with Google Photos, meaning it will be able to scan through your photos, see your friends, and suggest that you share the photos that you took with your friends with your friends. You're also able to share maybe photos of your kids with your partner automatically. You don't need to like share it manually. You can do it automatically, share it to the library, and both of you will be able to access like photos of your kids and events you went to together and stuff like that. Fourth thing, and probably the final thing that I think was like the highlight of everything we did, and everything I've talked about, is really artificial intelligence. AI will basically run through the whole theme of I/O. Their slogan changed from mobile first to AI first, meaning they build products with artificial intelligence being the priority in terms of how can this like learn better, be better, improve itself. they announced something called Google.ai, which is basically a service, not a service really, but a branch of Google that's working on artificial intelligence. And what it's able to do is that it builds neural networks that actually improve and build new neural networks. So it's basically a computer that's learning and actually implementing what it's learning to help make better neural networks for better AI. So AI makes better AI, which is pretty impressive. This is very reminiscent of anything you've seen, Terminator, all these cool robot movies. This is kind of like, yeah, this is we're there. In the next couple of years, artificial intelligence will be everywhere, from our cameras to our phones to our cars to our houses, everywhere. If you want to see a cool preview, you can check out Mark Zuckerberg's house. I think there's a video on YouTube about it, on Facebook, and he used Morgan Freeman's voice to implement AI in his house, and it's crazy. So I'll link to videos that I think explain better, much better about what happened at I/O, all the events and everything that happened. Also, I'll share the keynote where you can watch the whole 2 hours of it. It's amazing. It's really interesting. And aside from that, you can subscribe to me on YouTube for my next video, which will be developer based. And I hope you get to see that and what all the things that were announced. It will be with my friend Roida, who was actually at I/O, which will be really, really good. There will be all cool content based on what they saw there and what they learned all during that time. Otherwise, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on social media. All the links are below. And until next time, peace.